Berthe Marie Pauline Morisot was a painter and a member of the circle of painters in Paris who became known as the Impressionists. She was described by Gustave Geffroy in 1894 as one of les trois grandes dames of Impressionism alongside Marie Bracquemond and Mary Cassatt. In 1864, she exhibited for the first time in the highly esteemed Salon de Paris. Sponsored by the government, and judged by academicians, the Salon was the official, annual exhibition of the Arcade de Copyright des Beaux-Arts in Paris. Her work was selected for exhibition in 6 subsequent salons until, in 1874, she joined the rejected Impressionists in the first of their own exhibitions, which included Paul Car copyright Cézanne, Edgar Degas, Claude Monet, Camille Pissarro, Pierre-Auguste Renoir, and Alfred Sisley. It was held at the studio of the photographer Nadar. She was married to Eugène Manet, the brother of her friend and colleague Émile de Manet. Early life and education. Morisot was born in Bourges, France, into an affluent bourgeois family. Her father, Edmond copyright Berthe Morisot, was the prefect of the department of Cher. Her mother, Marie-José copyright Fine Corner copyright Lie Thomas, was the great-niece of Jean Honoré copyright Fragonard, one of the most prolific Rococo painters of the Ancien Rare copyright Jaime. She had 2 older sisters, Eve and Edma, plus a younger brother, Tiburce, born in 1848. The family moved to Paris in 1852, when Morisot was a child. It was common practice for daughters of bourgeois families to receive art education, so Berthe and her sisters Eve and Edma were taught privately by Geoffroy Alphonse Chocarme and Joseph Guichard. In 1857 Guichard introduced Berthe and Edma to the Louvre Gallery where they could learn by looking, and from 1858 they learned by copying paintings. He also introduced them to the works of Gavarni. As art students, Berthe and Edma worked closely together until Edma married Adolphe Pontillon, a naval officer, moved to Cherbourg, had children, and had less time to paint. Letters between the sisters show a loving relationship, underscored by Berthe's regret at the distance between them and Edma's withdrawal from painting. Edma wholeheartedly supported Berthe's continued work and their families always remained close. Edma wrote I am often with you and thought, dear Berthe. Unregistered trademark M in your studio and I like to slip away, if only for a quarter of an hour, to breathe that atmosphere that we shared for many years. Her sister Eve married Theodore Gobillard, a tax inspector, in 1866, and was painted by Edgar Degas as Mrs. Theodore Gobillard. Morisot registered as a copyist at the Louvre where she befriended other artists and teachers including Camille Corot, the pivotal landscape painter of the Barbizon school who also excelled in figure painting. In 1860, under Corot's influence she took up the plein air method of working. By 1863 she was studying under Achille Oudinot, another Barbizon painter. In the winter of 1863–64 she studied sculpture under Oima copyright Millet, but none of her sculpture is known to survive. Impressionism. Morisot's first appearance in the Salon de Paris came at the age of 23 in 1864, with the acceptance of 2 landscape paintings. She continued to show regularly in the Salon, to generally favorable reviews, until 1873, the year before the first Impressionist exhibition. She exhibited with the Impressionists from 1874 onwards, only missing the exhibition in 1878 when her daughter was born. Morisot's mature career began in 1872. She found an audience for her work with Durand Ruel, the private dealer, who bought 22 paintings. In 1877, she was described by the critic Phil Attempts as the one real Impressionist in this group. She chose to exhibit under her full maiden name instead of using a pseudonym or her married name. In the 1880 exhibition, many reviews judged Morisot among the best, including La Figura critic Albert Wolff. Exhibitions 1864 exhibited 2 paintings in the Paris Salon, 1874 First Impressionist exhibition, showed 12 works, 1875 auction at Hotel Drouot, showed 12 works, 1880 Paris exhibition, reviews judged her among the best. 1883 London exhibition, organized by Durand Ruel including 3 works by Morisot, 1892 First solo exhibition of 43 works in Paris by Cassatt and Valadon. Manet In 1868 Morisot became friends with Épermille Manet, who painted several portraits of her, including a striking study in a black veil while in mourning for her father. Correspondence between them shows warm affection, and Manet gave her an easel as a Christmas present. To her dismay, he interfered with one of her salon submissions whilst he was engaged to transport it, mistaking her self-criticism as an invitation to add corrections. Although Manet is regarded as the master and Morisot as the follower, there is evidence that their relationship was reciprocal. Records show Manet's appreciation of her distinctive original style and compositional decisions, some of which he incorporated into his own work. It was Morisot who persuaded Manet to attempt plein air painting, which she had been practicing since having been introduced to it by Corot. Morisot drew Manet into the circle of painters who became known as the Impressionists. In 1874, she married Manet's brother, Eugène, and they had one daughter, Julie, who became the subject for many of her mother's paintings. Julie's memoirs, Growing Up with the Impressionists, The Diary of Julie Manet, were published in 1987. Style and technique Morisot unregistered trademark S works are almost always small in scale. She worked in oil paint, watercolors, or pastel, and sketched using various drawing media. Around 1880 she began painting on unprimed canvases a technique Manet and Eva González also experimented with at the Tamiya and her brushwork became looser. In 1888 to 89, her brushstrokes transitioned from short, rapid strokes to long, sinuous ones that define form. The outer edges of her paintings were often left unfinished, allowing the canvas to show through and increasing the sense of spontaneity. After 1885, she worked mostly from preliminary drawings before beginning her oil paintings. Morisot creates a sense of space and depth through the use of color. Although her color palette was somewhat limited, her fellow Impressionists regarded her as a virtuoso colorist. She typically made expansive use of white, whether used as a pure white or mixed with other colors. In her large painting, The Cherry Tree, colors are more vivid but are still used to emphasize form. Subjects Morisot painted what she experienced on a daily basis. Her paintings reflect the 19th-century cultural restrictions of her class and gender. She avoided urban and street scenes and seldom painted the nude figure. Like her fellow Impressionist Mary Cassatt, she focused on domestic life and portraits in which she could use family and personal friends as models, including her daughter Julie. Prior to the 1860s, Morisot painted subjects in line with the Barbizon school before turning to scenes of contemporary femininity. Paintings like The Cradle, in which she depicted current trends for nursery furniture, reflect her sensitivity to fashion and advertising, both of which would have been apparent to her female audience. Her works also include landscapes, portraits, garden settings and boating scenes. Later in her career Morisot worked with more ambitious themes, such as nudes. Corresponding with Morisot's interest in nude subjects, Morisot also began to focus more on preliminary drawings, completing many drippoints, charcoal, and color pencil drawings. Personal life Morisot was married to Eugène Manet, the brother of her friend and colleague Épermille Manet, from 1874 until his death in 1892. In 1878 she gave birth to her only child, Julie, who posed frequently for her mother and other Impressionist artists, including Renoir and her uncle Épermille Douard. Death Morisot died on March 2, 1895, in Paris, of pneumonia contracted while attending to her daughter Julie's similar illness, and thus orphaning her at the age of 16. She was interred in the Cimetière Rue de Passy. Popular culture She was portrayed by actress Marine Deltham in the eponymous 2012 French biographical TV film directed by Caroline Campetia. The character of Beatrice de Clerval in Elizabeth Kostover's The Swan Thieves is largely based on Morisot. Art market Morisot's work sold comparatively well. She achieved the two highest prices at a Hartel-Drouot auction in 1875, the interior sold for 480 francs, and her pastel on the lawn sold for 320 francs. Her works averaged 250 francs, the best relative prices at the auction. Morisot became the highest-priced female artist in February 2013, when after lunch, a portrait of a young redhead in a straw hat and purple dress, sold for $10.9 million at a Christie's auction, roughly 3 times its high estimate, exceeding the $10.7 million for a sculpture by Louise Bourgeois in 2012. Works. Selection of works equals. This list is incomplete, you can help by expanding it with certified entries. This limited selection is based on the book Berthe Morisot by Charles F. Stuckey, William P. Scott and Susan G. Lindsay, which is in turn drawn from the 1961 catalogue by Marie-Louise Bataille, Robert Dennis and Georges Wildenstein. There are variations between the dates of execution, first showing and purchase. Titles may vary between sources. Early years of Impressionism, 1864–1874 A Permeltude, 1864, oil on canvas, 60.3 73 cm, private collection, Chaumière en Normandie, 1865, oil on canvas, 46 55 cm, private collection, La Seine-en-Aval du Pont d'Ia copyright now, 1866, oil on canvas, 51 73 cm, private collection, La Rivière de Pont Avenue aux Bras, 1867, oil on canvas, 55 73 cm, private collection, Chicago, Bateau l'Aurore. 1869, pastel on paper, 19.7 26.7 cm, private collection, June Philazar Fenêtre, 1869, oil on canvas, 36.8 45.4 cm, private collection, Madame Morisot Azar Film Madame Pontillon, 1869–1870, oil on canvas, 101 81.8 cm, National Gallery of Art, Washington, D.C., La Porte de Cherbourg, 1871, crayon and watercolor on paper, 15.6 20.3 cm, private collection of Paul Mellon, Upperville, Virginia, La Porte de Cherbourg, 1871, oil on canvas, 41.9 55.9 cm, private collection of Paul Mellon, Upperville, Virginia, Vue de Paris des Auteurs du Trocade copyright Roux, 1871, oil on canvas, 46.1 81.5 cm, Santa Barbara Museum of Art, California, Femme et Enfant au Balcon, 1871, oil on canvas, 20.5 16.4 cm, Art Institute of Chicago, Inter Copyright Rear, 1871, oil on canvas, 60 73 cm, private collection, Portrait de Madame Pontillon. 1871, pastel on paper, 85.5 65.8 cm, Louvre, drawings cabinet gift of Madame Edme Pontillon to the Louvre in 1921, in the collection of the Musée Copyright d'Orsay, L'Entre Copyright du Port, 1871, watercolor on paper, 24.9 15.1 cm, Musée Copyright et la Copyright en Allegri, Bagnères-sur-Caze, drawings cabinet, Madame Pontillon Azar Filjan sur un canapé copyright, 1871, watercolor on paper, 25.1 25.9 cm. National Gallery of Art, June Fil sur un banc, 1872, oil on canvas, 33 41 cm, Cache, 1872, oil on canvas, 33 41 cm, private collection, Le Basseau, 1872, oil on canvas, 56 46 cm. Musée Copyright d'Orsay, Paris, La Lecture, also titled L'Ombrelle Verte, 1873, oil on canvas, 45.1 72.4 cm, Cleveland Museum of Art, Ohio, sur la plage des Petites Dalles, 1873, oil on canvas, 24.1 a. 50.2 cm, Virginia Museum of Fine Arts, Richmond, Virginia, Madame Boursier Azar Phil, 1873, oil on canvas, 74 52 cm, Virginia Museum of Fine Arts, La Village de Moricourt, 1873, pastel on paper, 47 71.8 cm, private collection, Coin de Paris Food de Passy, 1873, pastel on paper, 27 34.9 cm, private collection, Sur la Terrasse, 1874, oil on canvas, 45 54 cm, Musée copyrighté du Petit Palais, Paris, Portrait de Madame Hubbard, 1874, oil on canvas, 50.5 81 cm, Ordrupgade Museum de Copenhagen, Femme et enfant au bord de la mer, 1874, watercolor on paper, 16 21.3 cm, private collection. Expertise and innovation 1875-1883 Purchas de Blanchiseuses, 1875, oil on canvas 33 40.8 cm, National Gallery of Art, June Philor-Mairois, 1875, oil on canvas, 54 45 cm, private collection, Scarne de Port Dans LA registered trademark Leather White, 1875, oil on canvas, 48 36 cm, private collection, Scarne de Port Dans LA registered trademark Leather White, 1875, oil on canvas, 43 64 cm, Newark Museum. Newark, New Jersey, Eugenie Manet LA registered trademark Leather White, 1875, oil on canvas, 38 46 cm, private collection, Avant d'un Yacht, 1875, watercolor on paper, 20.6 26.7 cm, Sterling and Francine Clark Art Institute, Williamtown, Massachusetts, Femmes Art Toilette, 1875, oil on canvas, 46 38 cm, private collection, Femmes Art Toilette, 1875-1880, HST, Dim. 60.3 80.4 cm, Col. Art Institute of Chicago, Portrait de Femme, 1875, oil on canvas, 57 31 cm, Galerie Schra Paragraphe der and Les Weets, Bremen, June Femme au bal encore intitulé copyright June Femme en toilette de bal, 1876, oil on canvas, 86 53 cm, Musée copyrighté d'Orsay, au bal June Phil au bal, 1875, oil on canvas, 62 52 cm, Musée copyrighté Marmottan Monet, Paris, Le Corsage Noir, 1876, oil on canvas, 73 59.8 cm, National Gallery of Ireland, Dublin, Le Cycle copyright, 1876, oil on canvas, 65 54 cm, Thyssen-Bonner-Missa Museum, Madrid, Ravius, 1877, pastel on canvas, 50.2 61 cm, Nelson Atkins Museum of Art, Kansas City, Missouri, L.A. Permeltar copyright, encore intitulé copyright June Femme Prouesse d'un Fenêtre 1878, oil on canvas, 76 61 cm, Musée copyright Faber, Montpellier, June Femme Size, 1878-1879, Huile sur Toile 80 100 cm, private collection New York, June Filder. Dos Art Toilette, encore intitulé copyright Femmes Art Toilette 1879, oil on canvas, 60.3 80.4 cm, Art Institute of Chicago, Le Lac du Bois de Boulogne, 1879, 45.7 75.3 cm, National Gallery, London, Dans le Jardin, 1879, oil on canvas, 61 73.5 cm, National Museum Stockholm, Hiva, 1880, oil on canvas, 73.5 58.5 cm, Dallas Museum of Art, Der Filzer Sizes Prouesse d'un Table, 1880, crayon and watercolor on paper 19 6 26.6 cm, private collection Germany, Plagianis 1881-1882, watercolor on paper 42 55 cm, National Museum Stockholm, La Porte de Nice, 1881-1882, oil on canvas, 53 43 cm. Private collection, La Porte de Nice, 1881–1882, oil on canvas, 41 55 cm. Private collection, La Porte de Nice, 1881. Third version format, 38 46 cm. Conserved at Dallas Museum of Art, Le Trois. Copyright, 1882, oil on canvas, 57.5 71.5 cm. Fondation Madeleine Vads, Liechtenstein, La Porte de Nice, 1881–1882, oil on canvas, 53 43 cm. Private collection, La Fable, 1883, oil on canvas, 65 81 cm. Private collection, Le Jardin, oil on canvas, 99.1 127 cm. Sara Lee Corporation, Chicago, Eugenie Manet et Zar-Phil or Jardin, 1883, oil on canvas, 60 73. Private collection, Dans Le Jardin à Moricourt, 1883, oil on canvas, 54 65 cm. Toledo Museum of Art, Le Quai de Bougival, 1883, oil on canvas, 55.5 46 cm. Norgenal Galleriet, Oslo, Julie Sun Bateau, 1883, watercolor on paper, 25 16 cm. Private collection, La Mule de Foin, 1883, oil on canvas, 55.3 45.7 cm. Private collection, New York A. Fully developed, 1884–1894 Dans la Var. Copyright Randa, 1884, oil on canvas, 81 10 cm. Private collection. Julie avec Zar Pupa. Copyright E. 1884, oil on canvas, 82 10 cm. Private collection. Petite Fille avec Zar Pupa. Copyright E. 1884, pastel on paper, 60 46 cm. Private collection. Sur le lac, 1884, oil on canvas, 65 54 cm. Private collection. Autoportrait, 1885, pastel on paper, 47.5 37.5 cm. Art Institute of Chicago. Autoportrait avec Julie, 1885, oil on canvas, 72 91 cm. Private collection. June Famicise or Bois de Boulogne, 1885, watercolor on paper, 19 28 cm. Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York. La Lee Section on de Couture, 1885, Minneapolis Institute of Arts, La Faureté de Compiègne, 1885, oil on canvas, 54.2 64.8 cm. Art Institute of Chicago. Le Bain, 1885–1886, oil on canvas, 81.1 72.3 cm. Art Institute of Chicago. Dans la Salle Manger, 1885–1886, oil on canvas, 61.3 50 cm. National Gallery of Art. Le Livre, 1886, oil on canvas, 65 54 cm. Collection Durand Ruel. Inter. Copyright Rio Jersey, 1886, oil on canvas, 50 60 cm. Musée. Copyright E. Communal des Beaux-Arts d'Ixelles. Femmes Suivantes, 1886–1887, pastel on paper, 42 41 cm. Non-localizer. Copyright Julie avec un chat, 1887, Dripoint, 14.5 11.3 cm. National Gallery of Art, Washington. Nude de Dos, 1887, charcoal on paper, 57 43 cm. Private collection. A Permelventail en Mar. Copyright Dalen, 1887, watercolor on silk fan, private collection. Portrait de Paul Gobillard, 1887, colored pencil on paper, 27.9 22.9 cm. Reader's Digest Association, New York. Le Lac du Bois de Boulogne, 1887, watercolor on paper, 29.5 22.2 cm. National Museum of Women in the Arts, Washington. Villette-Lezant, 1888, oil on canvas, 74.3 92.7 cm, Museum of Fine Arts. La Cuillette des Oranges, 1889, pastel, 61 46 cm, Musée copyrighté d'art d'Histoire de Provence, Grasse. Suze Laranger, 1889, oil on canvas, 54 65 cm, private collection. L.A. Le Dubois de Boulogne, 1889, oil on canvas, 68.4 54.6 cm, National Gallery of Art, Washington. La Flagellette, 1891, oil on canvas, 56 87 cm, private collection. La Cerisier, 1891, oil on canvas, 138 88.9 cm, private collection, Washington. A Permeltude pour la Cerisier, 1891, pastel on paper, 45.7 48.9 cm, The Reader's Digest Association. Julie Manet avec son la copyright via, 1893, oil on canvas, 73 80 cm, Musée copyrighté Marmottan Monet, Paris. Les Enfants de Gabriel Thomas, 1894, oil on canvas, 100 80 cm, Musée copyrighté d'Orsay, Paris. La Coiffure, 1894, oil on canvas, 100 80 cm, Musée National de Belles Arts. June Philo Chevienoise, 1894, pencil and watercolor, 23.1 16.8 cm, Philadelphia Museum of Art, Philadelphia. Gallery. Portraits of Berthe Morisot. See also, Women Artists, Western Painting, History of Painting, Julie Manet. Notes. References. Sources: Denver, B. The Chronicle of Impressionism, An Intimate Diary of the Lives and World of the Great Artists. London, Thames and Hudson. OCLC 43339405, Higonnet, Anne. Berthe Morisot. Berkeley, University of California Press. ISBN 0-520-20156-6, Turner, J. From Monet to Car. Copyright Zan, late 19th century French artists. Grove Art. New York, St. Martin's Press. ISBN 0-312-22971-2, Manet, Julie, Rosalind de Boland Roberts, and Jane Roberts. Growing Up with the Impressionists, The Diary of Julie Manet. London, Sotheby's Publications, 1987, Shannon, Margaret. Berthe Morisot, The First Lady of Impressionism. Stroud, Sutton Publishing. ISBN 0-7509-2339-3. External links. Edmond Morisot, 1865, Berthe Morisot painting at her easel. Private collection. Berthe Morisot at the Webb Museum, biography of Berthe Morisot, works by or about Berthe Morisot in libraries. Berthe Morisot in American Public Collections on the French Sculpture Census website.